You're feeling the pressure, aren't you? You need the yearly reset. Every year we're bombarded with the same advertisements telling us, new year, new me. Although I can't promise you six-pack abs, I can improve your creative lifestyle. A while back, I needed to make some big changes. I was already doing commissions, logos, events, and posting and all of that, but none of it was actually directed towards a real goal. I mean, I thought it was, but it was actually a cycle of dead-end creativity. If you're anything like me, you constantly have ideas that you want to pursue. This will help you organize them and narrow it down to the good stuff. I never intended to show this to anyone, so I made it a little more presentable for you guys. This is the Yearly Reset, a creative guide to help creatives plan out and finish their upcoming year of projects. The guide works best if you complete it before the new year, and if you can't fill it out digitally, you can always print it out. Also, don't take this too seriously, and you'll see why that's important by the end of this video. First, we start with the project grading list. To complete this portion of the guide, you must list at least 32 projects. I know that's impossible, but let me explain. I've provided an example to show you how some of the smaller projects can actually be a part of a larger project. So a smaller project could be something like making a painting, and a larger project could be turning it into a design, or making a video of the process. Let me know in the comments if it's harder to make a good painting or a good video. Anyways, if something is just so small and a part of your process, I would only list the bigger idea. I wouldn't be putting script this video on this list. I would put design the guide and make the yearly reset video. You can do your production notes on your own time, Buster. So, after you've listed all your ideas, just grade them from easy, medium to hard. Don't forget to date it. Only after you've dated it can you move on to the creativity schedule. Start by filling out and organizing where you want these projects to come up during the year. The reason they go from reaching medium to hard is to give you space in between certain months that need to be easier. A good tip is to consider your audience and holidays in case you do themed projects like Inktober for artists. In October, I would probably consider 31 drawings to be the hard project. Doing a video of them all could be a medium project, and maybe turning your favorite one into a design could be your easy project. Once you've organized your year of projects, go to the bottom and see if you can list 6 small goals that would be achieved if you were to complete all of these projects. This can actually be really simple. If you make videos, one of your bullet points could actually be make 8 short films. And that would possibly be your 8 hard projects, depending on how you see it. Another way to think about it is you could evaluate your projects and ask yourself what they really accumulate to, like building an inventory for artists who have merch or originals, or growing on social media, depending on what your focus is for the year. Finally, we have the largest achievable goals that you can think of for your creativity this year. Dream goals. Imagine this section as the top of your creative pyramid. All of the projects accumulate to the smaller goals, and all the smaller goals should help you achieve your dream goals. If you really did put something like build your inventory or grow on social media, your dream goal for the year could be to establish your business. If you've already done that, your dream goal for the year might be to have a brick and mortar establishment. Just make sure it's something you could achieve in a year and that you are serious about, because this is about to be your life for the next year. I filled these out a year ago and just completed my first year. For someone who's never produced content like this before, it got easier to complete the projects as the months went on. My focus for the year was building my online presence and catalog of work by finishing my personal projects through a video format, while exploring other creatives and building up my designs and merch in hopes of reaching my dream goal of establishing a business, possibly a brick and mortar, and giving back to the creative community by hosting a festival and developing a creator fund. I also spaced out my designs, and featuring other creatives became the Artbox podcast. I mentioned from the start of this to not take it too seriously. I didn't fill out all the spots, and I gave myself permission to change things as I go. So why'd I need this guide if I wasn't going to follow it to a T? The only objective was to finish a handful of projects per month and not post unless I had something completed. This kept me focused. But the better things were going, the more opportunities started to come up that I had not planned for. I had major results in video production, storytelling, writing, growing my social platforms, and communicating with other creatives. I wasn't taking just any opportunities. As I mentioned in the announcement video that pushed me to make this guide, I pretty much kept my commissions closed for 90% of the year, which was a first. But rather, I was saying yes to opportunities that would come up from checking off my creative schedule, and I found an abundance of creators out there trying to find their way as well. This is probably when I strayed hardest from my guide in terms of focused projects. In fact, I don't think I finished 50% of them on my original guide, but it was the push and constant reminder on my phone that this is the path, and it is okay to take on extra goals and readjust the plan. I didn't establish a business or a festival or a creator fund, but almost as soon as the year started, I had a lot of cool opportunities come to fruition because I was working on these projects. I worked for 1000. I got my own videography and content creation gigs. I started reaching folks who I never thought would see my messages, and now we're all growing bonds. My art and my videos improved over the course of completing this guide, and people were noticing. I gained a lot of momentum, which was the first half of my dream goals. However, I actually plan to use that momentum entirely different in next year's guide. Based on everything I experienced, I have a much better approach to what I want my small goals and dream goals to be for next year. All the projects that got railroaded by my spontaneous actions are perfectly fine to be made next year. In fact, here's a pro tip from a fellow guide user. If you've made it this far in the video, leave room for surprises. The point of this guide is to have a reference to keep us from getting stressed out about all the ideas in our head. It's a great excuse to get off social media, learn about your work, yourself, and the world even, depending on how you use it. Don't take it too seriously. If you need a push to get organized and focused, this is a decent way to do it. Stay creative, folks.
Oh, dude, that beautiful detail. DIY, brother. Woo! Makes it look even better when you're done.
This is a decent way to do it. Stay organized, folks.